Good morning. I actually have to work today, but it's only for a few hours. So yeah, I'm going to check my emails because I'm sure there are a billion of them, and I don't even know what time we get off today, so I need to figure that out. And yeah, I will talk to y'all soon. Okay, I'm outside walking Gunner, and usually this is my time to listen to audiobooks or podcasts, mostly podcasts. And one of the podcasts that I listened to, her cat died. And like, I couldn't imagine if something happened to that. Pain in the ass right there. Couldn't imagine. But it was so sad, like listening to her talk about her cat and, you know, what he meant to her and all of that. It was so sad. I'm like walking Gunner, like about to cry. So sad. Hey guys, so someone asked me in the comments yesterday if I was going to do a favorites video of my 2020 favorites read. So I kind of have a rough list. I do plan on doing a formal, like a real video, not just like a quick Vlogmas one, because I'm not completely done with my 2020 reading. I have to finish Remembrance, and there's like a few other things that I would like to read. Yes, ma'am. No. I'm recording though. Here. Okay, so hey guys, so someone asked me in the comments yesterday if I was going to do a favorites video of my 2020 favorites read. So I kind of have a rough list. I do plan on doing a formal, like a real video, not just like a quick Vlogmas one, because I'm not completely done with my 2020 reading. I have to finish Remembrance, and there's like a few other things that I would like to read. Yes, ma'am. No. I'm recording though. Here. Okay, so this will kind of just be a rough draft, and I'll start with the books that are missing because I haven't pulled them off the bookshelf yet. So that will be the Book of Longing. I haven't pulled it off my bookshelf yet, like I said, and Deacon King Kong. So the Book of Longing I loved so much because it is definitely a feminist based book, and it talks a lot about it gives you different examples of women. It gives you get the example of women empowerment, what it means to have strong women in your life. So not to spoil it for you guys because I don't want to do that, but the Book of Longings is by Sue Monk Kidd, and it is about what if Jesus had a wife that was a feminist, and it kind of goes through her life and the different trials and tribulations and different experiences that she had. And I consider it a favorite of mine of this year because of the way that it made me feel. Like, I finished reading that book and I felt empowered. I loved so many of the characters. I loved the different experiences that she went through. It was just an overall really good book. Deacon King Kong by James McBride. That was also a book club read. I don't know if I said that about the Book of Longings, but I loved it because it felt like home, if that makes any sense. James McBride is one of my favorite authors, and he is one of my favorite authors because his writing feels so much to me like how I felt as a kid when I would sit with my pop-up and like listen to him and his buddies, like, while they were drinking their beers and just talking about their life. Like, that's what it felt like. It felt like when my grandmother lived in the projects, and I would go there after school, and just how the area was described, how the main character Deacon, like how he was described. Like, it was like I knew every character in that book, and it felt so much like home in a good way. And then the story was good. There were some slow bits in it, but it felt so much like home that I didn't mind. I enjoyed it so much, and it just was a really good book. So now, these are in no particular order. I just started with the books because, like I said, I want to make this a video. I had a sticky note on here of what needed to be added. So altogether, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books out of the 27 that I've read that, like, I absolutely loved. Give or take, some are missing, which is why I'm going to do a formal video. Like, I'm going to do like a real video for the beginning of the year. I just have to record it and like get all my books together. So, The Changeling by Victor Laval. I don't know why this name is not more popular. I don't know why he's not, like, why are we not screaming his name off the rooftops? This was such a good book. I started out not really knowing what was going to happen or what. This is a fantasy, and it is about a main character named Apollo who falls in love. I don't even really know how to describe it because it just goes through so many different phases. It was so good. Like, I loved this so much because I finished reading it and I felt like I had read a romance, a mystery, a fantasy, all in one. Like, there were so many different things. There was some magical realism in there. It was just so good. So overall, I'll read the synopsis to you, but I don't want to spoil it for you. So when Apollo Kagwa's father disappeared, he left his son a box of books and strange recurring dreams. Now Apollo is a father himself, and as he and his wife Emma settle into their new lives as parents, exhaustion and anxiety start to take their toll. Apollo's old dreams return, and Emma begins acting odd. At first, Emma seems to be exhibiting signs of postpartum depression, but before Apollo can do anything to help, Emma commits a horrific act and vanishes. Thus begins Apollo's quest to find his wife and child, who are nothing like he'd imagined. His odyssey takes him to a forgotten island, a graveyard full of secrets, and a forest where immigrant legends still live, and finally back to a place he thought he had lost forever. It was such an amazing book. I came across this because I wanted to read fantasy by a Black author, and I found this. There's another book by him that I started reading this year that I did not finish, but that I want to read, that I want to finish. So I might grab that to finish it before the end of the year. I'm not sure. The next on my list is Men We Reap by Jesmyn Ward. This is her memoir. My God, today. Like, guys, I cannot begin to tell you what a phenomenal writer Jesmyn Ward is. You have to read it for herself. Now, I will warn you, this book is sad. It is not a fun read at all. But Jesmyn Ward does, like, the way she wrote this was like she would talk about a man in her life that died somehow, and then she talks about how it affected her. And it really talks about how women have to deal with grieving and what that's like as a Black woman. It was terribly sad, but I think another reason why I enjoyed it so much, excuse me, I'm multitasking. Another reason why I enjoyed this so much was because I've read Salvage the Bones by her, and you can very much see her life and her work. And it is rare that you can read a author's memoir before you read their art. So I just really enjoyed it. I connected a lot with a lot of the things that she said in this book, and it was just amazing. I feel like it's something that everyone should read. Read all of her work. You will not be disappointed. It is good. She is talented. It gives me a like modern Toni Morrison, if that makes sense. I love this so much. I love her. Next, A Song of Achilles. Oh my God, I did not expect to like this. So before I started working from home and I was working in a brick and mortar, there is a bookstore like 3 doors down from the location that I worked in. So I'd go there often, and I had just finished reading something else and I needed something to hold me over. It was a slow work day, but I needed something to hold me over, so I went to the bookstore. And I couldn't figure out what to get. And the author, one of the employees at the bookstore was like, you should totally read A Song of Achilles. Like, everyone that has read it has said good things about it. Like, you have to read it. And I was like, girl, we all know what happened to Achilles. He died, girl. We all, who don't know what happened to Achilles? He died, baby, he died. We saw Achilles heel. Hello. Well, my. If I've never learned anything, I've learned that talking shit will always lead you to being wrong. This book was amazing. The way that Madeline Miller retells a story like it's her own is amazing. I often don't like retellings because I'm like, how many ways can you tell me something before I get bored? Like, whatever. She did an amazing job with this. What I will say, the beginning half of it is a bit slow. And if you are not into mythology at all, this may not be a book for you. But if you like mythology and you want a very good retelling and you don't mind slow bits, you will love this. It shocked me how good the ending was and how attached I was to characters that I already know. I know this story. Who does not know the story? Like, I know this story. And how did she? I was like, I read this book in like a day. I kid you not. Because I was at work like, nobody talked to me. I have to read. It was so good. Okay, next book. Oh, I just got finished reading this. Memorial Drive. Like, she tells the story of her mom's death. And she also speaks on her trauma. And she speaks a lot about how grief changed her and how it changed her into the person that she was, but how life has a way of bringing you back to where you need to be in order to heal. It is an amazing book. It is sad. I am not an easy crier when it comes to books, but this was really, really good, and it's a short read. I feel like short books, like if a book is under 300 pages, it has come to slay you hoes, okay? A book under 300 pages ain't come to play with you, and this is a perfect example of that. This book was amazing. I absolutely loved it, and I do think it's one of those books that everybody should read, whether you have lost your mother, whether you are a mother, read this book. I'm just tossing books, they just flying everywhere. The next, something else that I recently finished, The Death of Vivek Ogee. Oh my gosh, I picked up this book. Why did I pick up this book? I don't know. I saw it in the bookstore and I thought that it was cute. I often do that. Book covers speak to me often, and I kind of just pick them up. And I think I've told you guys before, I buy books for my future self, and I have no problem doing that. Like, whatever. I read this. Their writing style Achilles, Imezi. Their writing style is different, but it is engaging if you are like myself and you like to read books because of the writing style. Writing is an art that, with a little bit of practice, I feel like we all can do. But she has a way with words, and the way that she told the story, the way that the characters unfold, it was an amazing story. It's a story about the death of Vivek Ogee, but not the way that you think. I think I was assuming that I was going to be reading a murder mystery, and I was not at all reading a murder mystery. I was reading the story of someone that lost themselves, and hold on one second, guys, I'm trying to multitask. There we go. Okay, cool. Who lost themselves, and it told the perspective of the people around him as he died. It's very good. It touches on sexuality. It touches on a lot of different things that are troubling to people. I think everybody should read this. It was really good. I actually want to read this again, just to be able to take it all in. But it was amazing. Okay, next. A Woman Is No Man. Okay, so the beginning of this year, I decided that I was going to read more, and this was the first book that I picked up as my book of the month subscription. And where do I begin? It tells the perspective of 3 Palestinian women. So a mother, her mother-in-law, and the mother's daughter. So 3 generations of them. And it talks a lot about like their culture, different things that they've experienced, how they handle their culture, how that culture gets passed down through generations. It was just, it was phenomenal. I loved it, and I believe it was Etaf Rum's debut. I'm curious to see what other things she writes. It was a really, really, really good book. No complaints. And then last but not least, Dear Child. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I made a big stink about this book because it was so good. Every time I thought I knew, like, I don't read thrillers and mysteries often because I'm always like, okay, they're all written the same way, and I know I can figure out what's gonna happen. I just know it to be so. I know it. Every time I thought I was wrong, and then it got to the end, and I didn't know. I did not know. So this is about a girl that goes missing, and they think that they found her, like that she turns up, but it's not really her, and they're trying to figure out like what's happening, who's the kidnapper, all of this stuff. There are children involved. Read this, and it's a translated work, and I haven't read many translated works, and this kind of changed my mind about translated works because usually translated works don't have the oomph because it's translated from a different language, and sometimes it's hard to get your point across because there may be some words in this language that aren't in that language, and vice versa, and all of that. But it was a good, the writing was good, it was a good story. I like want to read everything by this author. Like, it was so good. It's so good. So that's my favorites list for now. Like I said, once I'm completely finished with my 2020 reading, which I have a few more books to read, and there are some other books that I know for a fact that I missed. I will do a formal video, okay? Okay. I love you guys. Am I gonna end the vlog here? I don't know. It's early. I won't end the vlog just yet. But I love y'all. I'll see y'all in a second. So I have to go to Target for myself. Like, I had to get stuff. And here go my mama with the, oh, well, since you going to the store, can you get me X, Y, and Z? Like, girl, I'm on a time restraint. I don't have time to be shopping for you. I don't know what's wrong with my mama and why all of a sudden she don't know how to go to the store herself, and why I have to do all things for gay. But I'm upset because I got to get back home in a certain amount of time to make sure I'm there for her gift. When originally all I had to do was go to Target for some Hot Wheels cars. I don't understand. She could have did this herself. She could order leggings on the interwebs and have them shipped to the house. But no. Stress Shelby out. That's what she do. Stress Shelby out. Oh, well, you gonna be in the store anyway. Okay, made the Target run, came home. Mom's last gift was delivered. Now I'm heading up to pick up the stuff that I ordered from my best friend. So I ordered another gift for her, but it's probably not going to be here until after Christmas. So I wanted to make sure that she had other things to open for not Christmas, because that's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating not Christmas. So I'm going to pick that up. I ordered lunch for Mom and I. My lips are just all crusty and dry. I'm struggling right now, y'all. That's better. Ordered lunch for Mom and I. That just got here. And then I'm going to go to the grocery store to pick up stuff for dinner tomorrow. I'm going to make short rib ragu. Christmas dinner. And yeah, that is it. That is all. So I posted some stuff on the Patreon page, so make sure you guys go and subscribe and become a patron so you can see the stuff that I've posted on there. Can't wait for people to, I can't wait until we decide, you know, which book we're gonna read for, where am I driving to? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't wait for us to officially decide on the book for January. So you still have time to subscribe and vote in the poll. The poll ends on the 30th. December 30th is the last day for the poll. So, but I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys. I'm super proud of myself for getting this far in Vlogmas. I know at the beginning I said that I wanted to do this to prove to myself that I could, you know, record and put up a video easily. So it is definitely proven that. And I will see you guys tomorrow. If no one's told you today, I love you. And I will talk to y'all soon.